But first tonight, what if your next door neighbor suddenly went dangerously insane and started holding people hostage in his house? Would you consider that threatening? Would you even notice it? Those are not theoretical questions. Something very much like that just happened in our national neighborhood. Canada, the landmass directly to our north, our single largest trading partner, the country with whom we share the longest international border in the world, Canada took a dramatic move toward legitimately dangerous authoritarianism. In Canada, yes. Here's just one measure of it. On Monday, the country's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, outlined his government's new corona regulations. Canadians hoping to return to their country must be tested before and after takeoff, he said. Quote, if your test results come back positive, you'll need to immediately quarantine in designated government facilities. This is not optional. According to the Canadian government, anyone who attempts to avoid these rules, detention in a government internment facility, for example, could face a $1 million fine and 3 years in prison. This is Justin Trudeau's Canada. It's funny, Trudeau always seemed like a cheerful idiot, wearing weird costumes and yammering on about diversity. Who knew he was Mussolini? There might be a lesson here for other nations that are led by shallow neoliberal empty suits. Know any? Underneath all the chirpy identity politics talk, it's not a joke. It's internment cells. In Canada, where everything has a euphemism, those cells are referred to as approved quarantine hotels. What are they like? Well, as noted, they're internment cells. What do you think they're like? There are shortages of food and water. You could be sexually assaulted as you're held in one.
He's right, you know. These government-approved hotels are internment camps. Sure, they don't have the violence and the murder and the starvation yet. Thing is, these government quarantines, they've been around a lot longer than a month. We've been investigating them personally ourselves for a couple months. So I can tell you that some things have changed. Some things have changed between the way the hotels and the airports acted then and the way they acted now. So as some of you may know, we went to a quarantine hotel. Well, a hotel that was being used for quarantine. See, they segregate them now. So there are floors where people are quarantining, and there are floors where the regular guests stay. This is our story. It's calling the Calgary Airport Marriott and Terminal Hotel. Hi, I was hoping to book a room, but I had kind of a weird question. So my girlfriend's flying in from Texas next week, and she has to quarantine for the 3 days.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, like, can I stay at the same hotel without having to quarantine, or like, how does that?
You're welcome to stay in a separate room in the hotel, but because she's in quarantine, she's not allowed to have any visitors, so you wouldn't be able to, like, stay with her.
Oh, okay, so it's just like a separate, like they're separate areas, kind of?
Yeah, exactly. We have designated floors, and there's a special range and everything that's part of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, thank you. I will talk to her, and I'll get back to you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
The government has released a list of their hotel quarantine sites, in case you're wondering how we knew the Marriott was being used. If you click on the list of hotels, it will take you through the 4 cities with international airports and the hotels located there, although this is not the entire list. Down here is Calgary, the Airport Marriott, and the one we stayed at, the Acclaim.
At the next stop sign, turn right.
Well, where are we, you might ask? Well, we're at the Acclaim Hotel, where we've booked a stay for tonight. We will be staying here because, as we know, There are segregated floors where some are quarantined locations and others where just regular guests can stay. So we've booked a stay for the night in regular room, and hopefully we can investigate and find out further what goes on inside these hotels and how they are segregated and what the setup looks like.
Those people are just parked there, yeah. Domestic arrivals. No, I'm not keeping them straight. Security.
There it is, Quarantine Central.
Yeah, but where's the West End?
Quarantine arrivals. We've got some hidden camera footage. We're still piecing through that. There's a lot of it. We recorded for long periods of time, so we have to piece through that. We will release it at some point.
But what I want to play for you guys now is a walkthrough of the Acclaim Hotel and a look at what the quarantine floors look like. This was done by me last night, so it is verified. Here you go. It's a bit long, but just bear with me. I think it'll interest you.
We all got our demons, but mine are the meanest. They won't let me get too close to the ones I need the most. They're angry and violent, they show uninvited. So you better run away, for my demons come to play. Hey. We've all got our demons, but mine are the meanest. They won't let me get too close to the ones I need the most. They're angry and violent, they show uninvited. So you better run away, for my demons come to play. Hey. We've all got our demons, but mine are the meanest. They won't let me get too close to the ones I need the most. They're angry and violent, they show uninvited. So you better run away, for my demons come to play. Hey. We've all got our demons, but mine are the meanest. They won't let me get too close to the ones I need the most. They're angry and violent, they show uninvited. So you better run away, for my demons come to play. Hey.
So what are those people doing on the 4th floor? Is there anyone in there? Is it empty? That's possible. It wouldn't be for regular guests. He did tell us that only the main floor was for regular guests, but they wouldn't have regular guests on the main floor, quarantine guests on the 2nd and 3rd, and then regular on the 4th, right? That wouldn't make any sense. But now, you guys will see, you know, why do I make these videos? Why do I protest and rally and fight back as hard as I can? Because this is not my Canada, and I'm sick of living in it, and I'm sick of this stuff being allowed to happen. And I know damn well this stuff is going to continue until we stop it, till we put an end to it. Join us at our rallies every Saturday, Confederation Park, Tabor, 12 o'clock p.m. If you're from another place, go join your rally. We need to fight back. We need to stand up and say, no, we're not having this. Don't comply. Don't wear a mask. Don't lock down. Don't quarantine at a hotel if they ask you to. Just don't do it. Your silence is compliance. I refuse to comply. You should too.